So, hi there, welcome, Petro. You are the founder of Earth Alive 365. Now, I know you personally, which I'm glad to say, but a lot of people out there are being introduced to you. You've done amazing work already and you have a great following. So, just tell any of our people that might be watching right now, what do you do? Who are you and what do you do?
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for reaching out to me and wanting to have a conversation with me. I think it's so important that people, keep connected and stay connected, even though I'm very much a loner, very much the type of person that, I don't answer my phone, I don't reach out to people. So I am an awareness artist for near threatened and endangered species, and in short, an animal representative, animal ambassador, but more sort of a species ambassador, taking humanity into account as well. So I make art that we 3D print and design, and I construct that into a wearable garment that I wear to music festivals, art festivals, international gatherings, marches, protests, really. And now the idea is to kind of get more sort of into private events, corporate events, and also children's events. So I really believe that, there's an element of magic in storytelling, and if you can make it nice and visually beautiful for children, for them to see something that they haven't seen before, then that's kind of like how we also get and reintroduce the wild to them. So yes, awareness artist for near threatened and endangered species, founder of Earth Alive 365, and yeah, and we advocate for animal rights.
So I think that's hugely important right now because I don't think people are truly aware of what's really going on there. We're so absorbed in our own lives, right? And we have, or the past generations before us, and what we are doing right now is definitely affecting our species. That is
Wow.
100% true. If you think about the meat industry with the rainforests, um, what we're doing to this earth and what we're doing to this planet, I think it's very important time now for us to be very mindful and to have someone like you creating that awareness. So, how can people
Yeah.
get on board and help you to create this
So
awareness? How are you connecting to people?
yeah, so apart from just creating awareness for animals, so be they non-human or human, you can't really do it without working with human beings. I think another big thing I also want to mention is relationships, and what's really important is your relationship with yourself, and realizing that the type of relationship that you have with yourself is the type of relationship that you would have with Mother Earth. And if we can balance this, and we can balance our relationship with our environment, then we can balance our relationship with everyone. And by everyone, I mean every single person, individual, non-human and human, in our lives. So how do people get involved? So, I mean, we design the art and that we wear. And really, I'm not an artist. I never studied design. I reached out to somebody in the beginning. I said, "Can you make this for me?" And she says, "Yeah, for this amount." And I said, "Okay, I don't have that." And for me, it was very much a vision. I had a vision. It was like a calling. I couldn't sleep at night. I had animals keeping me up at night. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And then when I got it, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I was saying to spirit, no, 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 no. I'm not going to go and stand in the street wearing next to nothing. It's not, it's uncomfortable. And, but yeah, so anybody that's creative, anybody that's artistically creative, whether it's designing visual art like graphic art, or whether it's painting murals or actually just painting whatever you're painting, is to bring your awareness to how can I use that and contribute to representing a species. How do we focus on the beauty and celebrating life? And this is what Earth Life 365 is all about. It's apart from going within what's this relationship and into what's my relationship with the earth and what's my relationship with every single being on this planet, um, is how do we celebrate life? How do we celebrate being alive, even in these tough times? I know it's definitely getting to me. I want to pull my hair out. I'm angry like the past 2 days, but how do you celebrate life, and
Yes.
what are we doing in this moment, to not only make I was just on another call, and I said to this person, I think if you have food, that's a privilege.
Yes,
You know,
totally.
if you have
So
water
that
at the
kind of
moment, that's a privilege.
that
If
yeah,
you
that kind
have,
of connects with my next
yeah.
question to you. So you
Oh, okay. Well,
in
ask your
Cape
next question.
Town,
I just
South
want to finish
Africa.
this one thing. So, if you have a roof over your head, that's a privilege. And even if you have a little seed that you can plant in the garden, or you have 10 Rand in your wallet that you can donate to somebody, then do that. Because if you have all, those basic three covered, then you're in a position to assist.
Yes.
And every penny counts.
Yes, I think that's a beautiful message, and what I want to connect with is that you brought clearly as you're in Cape Town, South Africa, and you're in lockdown as I am, and lockdown in South Africa is very different to the rest of the world, you guys. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's now a little bit
No,
less tense, but it's almost like okay, we can exercise, but
it's
there's
very
still all these
stressful. I find it almost to be more stressful. I just want to put my sound up. Where? Me and computers. Um, anyway, no, I find that lockdown in South Africa is very stressful. I think that people should not forget the country and the statistics in South Africa. When it comes to uh, domestic violence, when it comes to crime, when it comes to poaching, when it comes to trafficking. These things are still happening, maybe not as much because there's not such a free movement, but now, we're not hearing about things that are happening at home because there's so much to focus on it now. And I believe also, from what I've read online and from people I know, is there's just this racism in this country. We're in a time where everybody needs to come together and we need to work on solutions. We need to bring our light and our love and our kindness and our compassion and our skills and not be so selfish. And everybody is fighting.
Yes. And it's affecting everyone. And I think, like you're saying, the mood's almost changed now that we've got more freedom because it's like giving us a little bit, but it feels almost worse off than when we were in total lockdown. Something has
Yeah.
changed, and how has it affected your business? How has it affected you and how you connect to the world? How has lockdown affected Petro? How are you
Well, I
experiencing it?
mean, for me, because I don't really go out that much unless I'm traveling or I'm going out to a festival or I'm out in a march or protest. I mean, I work from home. I've been very blessed to work from home. But there's no 2020 for me was going to be okay. So 2020 is going to be like this. And I had my little planner and I had everything ready. And I'm going to contact this event organizer and that event organizer. I'm going to, work on this species. And I'm like, there's not going to be any events now. People are so tight. You can't ask for sponsorship now because most of the industries or people or individuals that I would approach in the various sectors, they're all dependent on sponsorship from massive brands. And so it would be interesting to see how this goes forward. That's my mouse. How this goes forward, because I was under this illusion that 2020 was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I was going to finally get out there, and finally all my hard work was going to pay off, and I was going to be on the road and be on the farms and be close to the animals and get involved with the rescue projects. And I'm just, what?
And
So
everything's
that's
very
not
small.
happening now. But I think whatever it is that we're all going through now, whatever the illusion was that we were buying into, we were sort of like, maybe next week, maybe next tomorrow, maybe next month. And now we're like, no, either now or not at all. Either I'm not going to do that. I'm either going to be compassionate and kind now, or that's not going to happen. Everything for me at the moment is very immediate. It's
Yes.
very real. It's very raw. There's no getting out of this, not with your tantrums, not with crying, not with being delusionally happy, or evading a certain truths. No. I almost feel like everything is being restructured,
Yes.
that everybody's taking a new approach to their business and their way of living and their way of income.
Totally.
And I want to say, if you're somebody who's chilling on Netflix and you're not doing the research, or you're not looking or reflecting, you may want to do that. It's such an important time to do that. you know, is to really look after your body, because what we are experiencing now is only the tip of the iceberg, and I'm not going to go too much into that. You and I can have a different conversation with that, but many of the things that I've seen, many of the changes that I've adapted into my life, you know, when I kind of like brought those changes into my life, people were laughing, they were mocking, they were making fun, you know, nobody understood why, and now everybody has to do that. So there's yeah, is
And
to
on
be
your,
present,
yeah, so
be
in your
present
day,
now and look at new ways. And I know it's not that easy, especially when you financially you're you know,
restricted.
not able. I mean, let's face it, you know, we're just financially, everybody's in a bit of a,
Tough
yeah, and
situation, yes, because it's
not
affecting
everyone
the
is
whole world.
lucky
Yeah.
to be taken care of by somebody else, or, you know, to have a trust fund or to whatever, you know. Most, and also artists, most of us live, you know, week, month, unless you get the bookings. And for me personally, there's no booking to go out to festivals now, so everything has to happen online. The advocacy has to happen online now. The voice has to be here now. So, and a lot of people are doing that now, even yourself.
Like this? Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the businesses have
Yeah.
changed, you see, how we approach people and why I came up with this idea is because my business had to change. I suddenly had to do all my consultations online and I had to discover Zoom and recording and how to post it on Facebook and live and Instagram and linking and all of this. So it's become, the world has become smaller, but it's also become bigger. So our reach is actually very different.
Yeah.
So, on a personal level, who is Petro, the woman behind the business? So, who are you? Tell us something interesting that people might not know about you.
Oh gosh, I'm very nervous at the moment. I mean, there's not really much to say. Like I've pretty much shared my background online. You know, I say to people, first of all, I think what everybody needs to understand is you know, things have been said to me like, she's doing it to get attention. It's all about her, you know. Um, what I do, the amount, the hours, the money, the amount of time I have spent on in the past 5 years creating the art, to finding people that will maybe support me, to completely using all my funds, you know, for this, to being supported by travels. You know, it's not, it may look very luxurious online, but it's a lot of hard work and it's not a nice topic.
Yes.
So I always say to people that are interested in knowing who I am, is I am one individual who I think has seen the truth,
Yeah.
not maybe like a small little bit, and who's willing to stand up and say no more.
Yeah.
You know, the density that we experience on this planet, the
Mhm.
illusions that we look in, or the things that we turn away from because we want to believe in a cotton fluffy rainbow sunshine. Well, it's not like that, you know. Enlightenment um, isn't just all nice and pretty and light and love and light.
No,
It's not.
it's a
You
challenging,
first have
a
to
challenging
go,
experience.
yes, you first have to go into this tunnel before you can see the light. You know, you first have to break through your own dark night of the soul, first fight your own demons, your own battles before you can get there. And so I always say to people, if they want to know who I am, you know, is when you look at me, see the planet and everybody on the planet. You know,
Oh,
when you
that's
hear me
beautiful.
talk, listen to the animals, listen to nature, listen to water, the air. You know, it may sound very hippie, but I am merely somebody that's sharing a message.
Mm.
You know, and if you want to support me in sharing that message, then please do. I would love your support, and also just your kindness and your compassion. And also when you think about me, is to think about the animals in the earth.
Yes.
Like that's really what I want. You know, when I'm standing there and I'm having the boards and it says stop the trade or help the elephants, that's basically it. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
I
Have
want
you
you
got a
to
specific
support an
animal that you
organization.
love? Is there a specific one that's got a place in your heart? Is it all of them? Or is there one little one that might have a
Oh,
little bit more
it's so
space?
tricky. I would say if there's one that I really loved, it would be Raja,
Oh,
you know, but he's not here anymore.
mm.
Um, I have specific ones that come to me. I mean, there are animals that I'm afraid of, like geckos. I'm
That
afraid of
we
a
didn't know.
gecko. They jump on me. They jump on me and they scare me.
I love them.
I'm
I love
afraid of
holding them. They're so cute though.
no. I'm afraid of crocodiles. I really love elephants.
I,
So when I see an elephant, I don't even listen to you. I don't even. It's like I'm just like elephant crazy. Lions. I really love lions as well. You know, I don't. You know, it's been quite a journey because now with my awakening
mm,
and with the understanding that I have now and with the perspective from which I view the world at the moment, I don't have a favorite.
mm,
It's just all beautiful.
yes.
When I look at them, they're just all beautiful. You know, there's beauty to be found in nearly every single species out there. And you would hear people say, "Oh no, but you know, hyenas are so ugly." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they're adorable." You
Pack
know,
animals.
yeah.
And
So
they've
I
got a
don't have a
function,
favorite,
really.
but excuse me.
They've got a function. They go and clean up
Yeah,
some stuff that people leave behind, like the lions. You've got to,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
cycle. We're all part of
And
that cycle, really.
yeah, they form part of the ecosystem, you know, and if you can understand how fragile the ecosystem is, then I think or if you don't understand it, then look at your own body.
Mm,
You know, how fragile are we?
yes,
So if you have the entire universe inside of you and you are merely a reflection of everything that is and will ever be, then it all starts here, you know. So
yes,
and this um fragile human template body. I mean, that goes for each and every living being on the planet.
yeah.
So,
Cool.
you know, we really need to treat them as precious,
Mm,
beautiful, sentient beings and keep them in the palm of our hands. And I have this thing where I say, be a friend and be a guardian to
beautiful.
not
I
only
like the guardian
yourself
word.
but
Yeah.
to the animals, and then you can extend that to elements. You know, I mean, you can really feel blessed that you're able to breathe, because without the breath of life there would be no life.
No, we
The
wouldn't be
fact
in
that you can
existence.
put your feet on the soil, the fact that you even have feet, you know, is something to be grateful for.
Yes.
And water, this is, you know, if there's anything that we talk about today, you know, again, thank you so much for wanting to speak to me. But if we can get people to speak to water
Yes.
and understand that every single thing that's been manufactured, everything that's come into existence on this planet, that water is so important and
Water is life.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's magic. It's like that's life. Water is life, and that's the life force, you know. And if we can have a really beautiful, pure understanding and relationship with the water in our bodies and the water in the atmosphere and the water around us, you know, there is so much will change on this planet. And with that, I also just want to make people conscious of your consuming and what you're putting into your body, because what you're putting into your body, you're putting into the earth, and what you're putting into the earth, you're putting into other people and other beings, you know, and then it comes back to you. So the more cleaner you live in what you eat, in what you consume, in what you think, and what you say, and how you speak and how you act,
Yes.
especially with what you think.
Because it creates the vibration
Um,
in our bodies. It creates what we
yes.
become and what we send out.
Yes. Yeah. So water, yeah. So basically our relationship with that. And then one more thing. Um, you know, humanity's evolution, I said this quote before, humanity's evolution and humanity's liberation goes hand in hand with animal liberation and liberation of the earth.
Yes.
Everything we see, you know, and this is so important, is everything you see happening to animals is happening to humans, and everything we see that's happening to humans is happening to animals. And if we can understand that, and we can stop, you know, stop using that product, stop purchasing that, stop saying that you want to eat well, not that, you know, piece of meat, but that individual, you know, all of that, has a direct impact and forms this world that we live in. So if we can walk away from the cruel and violent practices and implement compassion and kindness and cruelty-free into our lives, not only will the density that we are feeling on this planet, because let's face it, sometimes you wake up and that day is just like, oh my God, I really don't want to get up, you know? And I believe that, yeah, and I believe that the density that we feel and that we experience is not our own density.
It's
It's
collective.
everything on the planet that's being done to everybody else. And some of us feel that.
And
Not
how to
everybody,
change that.
some.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And also to know, if I may, I mean, you can edit this out. Also to know that maybe it is a little bit far, but to know that, you know, you'll be sitting here in South Africa in Cape Town, GPS location where your physical body is, but that your consciousness and your light is far beyond this and extends
Yes.
far beyond that. And some of us, not everyone, some of us are able to expand in a way where we may go into a state where we see more or see things somewhere else on the planet, because we are, you know, your light and your energy is required there. So not to feel so limited when you're sitting in this home or in your
Your body and in your
you know,
space.
flat
Yes.
during lockdown, but to really take your breath within, and to say, okay, I may be here now because of XYZ, you know, pandemic, or, you know, whatever it is that you believe during this time, but to know that wherever it is that you are still an energetic being, a sentient being, and so much greater than just this body or the venue or the
Yes.
place where you find yourself, you know, being locked down in, and that you can extend that light and you can still go online. And if you're one of these people that are going online being mean and criticizing, then change that, because the things that people are dealing with at the moment is quite heavy. And if you can contribute your light and your love and your compassion towards somebody's healing or somebody's suffering or somebody's difficult, you know, whatever it is that the icky stuff, the ickiness,
Yes. To focus
then
more on
not
the
only will
positive
you
side
make,
and bringing light.
yeah, yeah, you will make somebody's day, you will hold space for someone, and that ultimately will create a sort of like a light, feather light, more sort of open, expanded, you know, feeling for you. Anyway, any other questions?
Well, at the moment, I
Yeah.
just heard my baby waking up, so we're going to have to wrap this up. What I wanted to say is your message is clear. Your message is beautiful, and it comes from such a beautiful place, such a heartfelt space, and I can feel that vibe being sent out. So I wanted to say thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I will put a link to your website and anything that you want to share with the world. I'll put it in the link with the website. So just, Petri,
Okay,
thank
thank
you
you.
so much, and thank you for the awesome stuff you're doing for this planet and for the animals
Oh,
and all the beings around there.
oh,
Much love, hugs and kisses to you, and
thank you so much.
yes, just thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for seeing me, and thank you so much, everybody. And say hi to your baby. Well,
I will.
okay, bye.
Sorry for cutting this short. Maybe we can connect in a few weeks' time again.
Yeah, okay. Bye, Nadja.
Thank you. Bye.